Every night, we drift into the unknown. Our bodies grow still. Our minds slip beneath the surface. And for a few hours, we disappear. But where do we go? Scientists call it rest. Mystics call it a journey. And for those who've had near death experiences or vivid dreams that came true, sleep might be the key to understanding a deeper truth. Sleep has puzzled scientists, philosophers, and spiritual seekers for centuries. Each night, our bodies shut down, our awareness of the external world fades, and yet something within us remains active. Where does consciousness go when we sleep? Does it simply switch off like a machine, as materialist scientists suggest? Or does it enter new realms of perception, unlocking hidden dimensions of reality? This question has long divided researchers. While mainstream neuroscience claims that sleep is just a time for rest and memory consolidation, countless dreamers, mystics, and near-death experiencers argue otherwise. From lucid dreaming to out-of-body experiences, astral projection, and precognitive dreams, there is growing evidence that consciousness does not turn off, it expands. Modern neuroscience explains sleep as a biological necessity. The brain cycles through various stages, from light sleep to deep sleep and into REM sleep, where most dreaming occurs. During REM, the brain becomes just as active as when we're awake. The prefrontal cortex, which governs logic and decision-making, powers down slightly, allowing for surreal and fluid dreamscapes. Meanwhile, the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, becomes hyperactive, giving our dreams an intense emotional charge. From this scientific standpoint, sleep is the brain's way of processing memories, restoring the body, and regulating emotions. Still, this model doesn't account for shared dreams, out-of-body experiences, or visions of future events that some individuals report. Long before modern science, ancient cultures viewed sleep not merely as rest, but as a spiritual journey. The Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. They thought the soul left the body at night to explore other realms. Priests and pharaohs took dreams seriously, recording and interpreting them as divine guidance. In Tibet, monks practiced dream yoga, training themselves to remain fully conscious within dreams to navigate various planes of existence, essentially rehearsing for the afterlife. The Greek philosopher Plato proposed that the soul, during sleep, detaches from the body to access greater realms of truth and understanding. When civilizations separated by geography and centuries share similar ideas, perhaps they were pointing to something real. Today, some researchers believe that sleep may be more than a time for the brain to reboot. It may also be a time when consciousness detaches from the physical body. Lucid dreaming provides a glimpse into this possibility. When someone becomes aware that they are dreaming and gains control over their dream environment, it blurs the line between the conscious and unconscious mind. Studies have proven that lucid dreamers can move their eyes in predetermined patterns while asleep, solve problems, and recall those solutions upon waking. Some report that their lucid dreams feel more vivid than real life. If one can be conscious while the body sleeps, where is that consciousness operating? Then there are out-of-body experiences in which people describe floating above their sleeping selves, often observing their own bodies from an external perspective. These experiences have been extensively studied by researchers like Robert Monroe, who spent his life exploring consciousness beyond the physical self. Accounts include pilots and soldiers witnessing their own bodies during high-stress moments, patients under anesthesia describing operating rooms from above, and people visiting unfamiliar locations in their dreams, only to recognize them later in waking life. These cases challenge the assumption that consciousness is locked inside the skull. Astral projection pushes the idea further, suggesting that we can intentionally leave our bodies and explore other dimensions. Techniques like meditation, lucid dreaming, and deep relaxation are used to induce this state. Some who practice astral projection claim to have met spiritual beings, visited celestial cities, or accessed hidden knowledge. If these claims hold any truth, then sleep is far more than rest. It's a portal. Some psychological theories suggest that the brain doesn't create consciousness, but rather receives it, like a radio tuning into a broadcast. This theory might explain why near-death experiencers report heightened awareness despite flat brain scans, why people have accurate precognitive dreams, or why individuals report sharing the same dream. This challenges the conventional materialist view and opens the door to the idea that during sleep, our minds may be accessing entirely different layers of reality. This brings us to the fundamental debate. Does consciousness travel while we sleep? The materialist view holds that consciousness is a product of brain activity, and all sleep phenomena are merely neural illusions. The expanded consciousness view posits that the mind isn't confined to the body, and that sleep is a chance to explore other realms, dimensions, or layers of existence. Neither theory has been conclusively proven, but the mounting accounts of lucid dreams, shared dreams, OBEs, and near-death experiences suggest that perhaps the second perspective deserves more attention. Sleep is often perceived as a passive state, but modern neuroscience reveals that it's anything but. It's an active process, crucial for learning, emotional health, and creativity. Each sleep stage plays a role. Light sleep helps with the transition from wakefulness, deeper stages restore the body, and REM sleep fosters intense dreams and neural connectivity. During REM, brain activity mirrors that of waking life. The body becomes paralyzed, likely to prevent acting out dreams, but the mind is far from dormant. Studies show that REM sleep deprivation impairs emotional regulation and problem solving, hinting that dreaming is vital for mental balance. Lucid dreaming stands out as a particularly astonishing sleep phenomenon. When people realize they're dreaming and begin to manipulate the dream world, they enter a hybrid state of consciousness. Researchers have found that lucid dreamers exhibit increased prefrontal cortex activity, indicating logical thinking and self-awareness within dreams. In some cases, individuals have used lucid dreams to solve complex problems. Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan claimed that many of his groundbreaking mathematical discoveries came to him in dreams. This suggests he may have accessed knowledge deeper than his conscious mind could reach. Dreaming has long served as a source of innovation. Friedrich August Kekulé, a chemist, discovered the structure of benzene after dreaming of a snake biting its tail. Paul McCartney heard the melody for Yesterday in a dream. Dmitri Mendeleev envisioned the periodic table in his sleep. These stories reinforce the idea that the dreaming mind can tap into insights and creative patterns the waking mind cannot. Even more mysterious are dreams that seem to predict the future. Precognitive dreams. Historical examples include Abraham Lincoln dreaming of his own death days before he was assassinated, passengers who foresaw the sinking of the Titanic and canceled their tickets, and the numerous people who dreamed of plane crashes and burning towers shortly before the 9/11 attacks. Some experts suggest these are coincidences or the brain interpreting patterns. Others believe these dreams may reflect a deeper, nonlinear understanding of time. So, how can we enhance our ability to remember and explore our dreams? Practices like keeping a dream journal, performing reality checks during the day, setting an intention before sleep, using the wake back to bed technique, and meditating before bed have all been shown to improve dream recall and increase the likelihood of lucid dreams. If dreams are truly a gateway to deeper knowledge, then learning how to navigate them may be a vital skill. The idea of astral projection, that consciousness can leave the body, isn't just a mystical concept. Across the world, people have described such experiences for centuries. While skeptics attribute OBEs and NDEs to brain anomalies or hallucinations, numerous verified cases suggest something more is happening. Robert Monroe's experiments at the Monroe Institute demonstrated that altered states of consciousness could be induced and studied. Participants in OBEs have described objects and scenes in distant rooms with uncanny accuracy. One remarkable case involves a blind woman who, during surgery, described visual details she had never physically seen. NDEs are another layer of this mystery. People who are declared clinically dead often return with stories of light-filled tunnels, reunions with deceased relatives, and out-of-body observations that can be verified. Neurosurgeon Dr. Eben Alexander, who previously believed consciousness was brain-based, had his worldview shattered after his own NDE. Despite his neocortex being inactive, he recalled a vivid journey into a realm more real than this world. His case, among many others, suggests that awareness may not be tied solely to brain function. These experiences are not limited to modern medicine. Ancient Egyptians believed in the Ba, a spirit that could travel while the body remained at rest. Tibetan Buddhists describe the Bardo state, a transition phase between death and rebirth. Christian texts mention heavenly realms and encounters with angels. Indigenous shamans speak of traveling to spirit worlds. The common threads running through these cultural accounts suggest that what we call OBEs or NDEs might be glimpses of something real. Some dismiss these experiences as byproducts of oxygen deprivation, neurotransmitter imbalances, or cultural conditioning. But what do we make of cases where people accurately report real-world details during unconsciousness? Why do so many return from these experiences profoundly changed, less fearful of death, more connected to life? If consciousness can exist outside the body, everything we know about life and death could change. Quantum consciousness theories propose that our awareness is part of the quantum field. The holographic universe theory suggests that all of reality is a projection and that consciousness might shift between layers of this projection. The simulation hypothesis posits that our reality is a complex simulation and that consciousness is interacting with layers of code far beyond our current understanding. For as long as humans have dreamed, they have sensed that those dreams mean something more. In Egypt, people bathed, meditated, and slept in temples hoping to receive divine guidance. In Tibet, dream yoga became a way to prepare for death and elevate the soul. Jung believed that all humans are connected by a collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of symbols and archetypes. The recurrence of dream motifs across time and culture suggests that dreams may connect us to a field of universal knowledge. Some dreams may even reflect parallel versions of ourselves. Quantum mechanics, particularly the many worlds theory, suggests that every decision creates a new reality. If consciousness exists beyond the brain, could dreams allow us to explore those alternate paths? People often report dreaming of lives they've never lived, homes they've never seen, and people they've never met. But everything feels familiar. Even dreams that predict future events might not be as implausible as they seem. Consider Lincoln's dream before his assassination, or the passengers who avoided the Titanic, or the stories of 9/11 dreamers. Were they sensing the future, or was their subconscious picking up patterns we don't consciously detect? Some scientists believe the mind might access future information through nonlinear time or unconscious processing, while others dismiss it as selective memory and chance. Yet the frequency and accuracy of these dreams remain difficult to ignore. So, where does consciousness go when we sleep? The answer may lie not in choosing between science and spirituality, but in allowing both to inform our understanding. Perhaps sleep is not simply biological downtime. Perhaps it is a doorway, a state of exploration, healing, creativity, and connection to something much greater than ourselves. And if we learn to pay attention to our dreams, to listen to what the night is telling us, we might not just be sleeping. We might be waking up to a deeper truth.